Hey guys, Nalani with Synthetic here, and we're going to be showing you how to make this nice frosted chocolate sample board. Now this one's a little bit different. We spent a lot of time working on this one. It was a much longer working time, around 3 hours or so you can really push the working time of this epoxy product. As well as this one's a little bit different because these sample boards, oftentimes we want to be able to take it on the road with us to show to customers in person if they so wish. So what we did is we will be also showing you how to make some of these edges. Really nice. We have this Rockface edge here. We have this nice half nose, and we have just regular slight rounded edges here, as well as into cases and stuff like that. That way you can have these two regular sample boards perfectly fit into this one.
First, we went over our board here with our base coat of Ethiopia. Then we're getting our various earth-toned sprays, going from light first to dark. Test that on the side a bit first and give that a good shake. Then we just go over there, just light motions on the trigger. And then we'll go over there with our varying paint colors and bag it as well. Let's just go and review our whole ingredients. So first we're going to start with our base Ethiopia here. You can see the can of Bear on the screen. And we have a French beige spray. We have hammered antique pewter, a dark brown. And for the bagging part, we have silver metallic, antique pewter, black, hammered bronze, and again with the dark brown. Then we have over here on our epoxy part of the recipe, our ingredients are going to be pearl metallic and coffee metallic, 2 separate cups for these ones. We're not mixing them both together. Black spray paint to fog it up, as well as 3 sprays this time of metallic isopropyl mixture, bright silver, clay metallic, and gold metallic will be our additive mixtures for these ones. And we're going to have white opaque for the veins later, and at the end we will have a nice white marble crackle effect. So we're going to mix our epoxy in a 1-to-1 ratio, 3 ounces per square foot. We put part B in first and then part A. Then we get our drill and we mix for about 2 minutes just to make sure it's thorough. And part of how you can tell if it's mixed is if there's still some of that weird swirly difference between the two. And we pour half and half of our mixed epoxy into 2 cups, one of which in will go our pearl metallic and one of which in will go our coffee metallic. Just need to get a dollop on a popsicle stick out. We just put those in there. And we make sure to pour those out onto our board. What we're going to do is we're going to pour our pearl on one side and our coffee on the other side, just half and half. This time we're not going to try to mix it just yet. They're going to be on separate sides, and we're going to make sure that we just scrape the edges of that to get all of the mixture out. And we're going to get our trowel and we're going to just trowel to all of the edges, make sure that we get all of that and a little bit going over each edge, just kind of making sure that we get those edges nice and damp and that we get the epoxy everywhere over the top. And you also can trowel a little bit in the middle just to sort of blend the two halves together, a little bit of pre-blending before the ultimate mixing that we're going to be doing. Okay, so we have our brush here. We're going to be chopping out all of our mixture, and when we're chopping, we're making sure that we're chopping both into each other so it's getting nice and blended and this really cool effect that kind of just has this nice foggy sort of effect with sort of milk chocolate sort of thing going on. And once we're done doing that, we're going to go to the sides and just brush those out, make sure all the epoxy is there. and we're going to be using long horizontal strokes for most of the sides to make sure that we get a nice even finish over those sides. The exception to this is we're going to go over the Rockface edge and we're going to kind of just try to wedge epoxy into all those nooks and crannies that are in there because of its irregular sort of shape. And we're going to get our torch. Now it seems like I'm going really quick to torch out all the bubbles, but this is in sped up time, so I actually use very long sweeping passes that are very slow to make sure that I evenly get out all the bubbles, so make sure that you're doing that. We can see our effect here on the video. It's already this very nice effect, and you can see it blended into each other very nicely. And we're going to get a paper towel, just sort of drag that out across to get some nice striated lines there. We found that a paper towel works really nicely for this effect. It seems to work just fine. It's super cheap. And as you can see, that kind of helps to lift some of the lighter sort of colored epoxy to the surface and get the dark in the crevices. So now we're going to fog up with our black, just fogging a little bit at a time and spritzing our isopropyl alcohol mixture onto the surface. First, we're going to go in with a dark silver, and this one we're going to have to layer in multiple layers to get the effects that we're wanting. It's a bit different than our Baltic Brown video if you've seen that. It's going to be a very different effect by the time we're done layering. You can see this is the first pass. So then the next pass, we're going over it again, and we're getting this time our clay metallic. We're spraying that into there. And then the third time that we do this, for the first passes, we're going to use our gold mixture. You can see how that looks right here. So once that's done, we get a bit of our leftover clear epoxy that we have. It's been congealed a bit, and we just run that down the middle there. So this is a bit congealed, so it won't mix as much in the other epoxies and will mostly stay still. We did a nice vein and 2 lumps on either side of it. Then we went back with our black and our spray metallics in any particular order, and just sort of went to town over the top back again, sort of reintroducing that pattern and laying it over a little bit on top of the 3 see-through epoxy parts that we then reintroduced to there. You can see how that looks here. It's looking very nice. We mixed up some more epoxy and mixed some white opaque dye in, and we just drizzled that over into some nice crisp lines. Looks really nice against our previously established effects. And after we waited for a bit so that all this stuff had nicely congealed, we went over with a white marble spray effect, and we sprayed it over the top, and that came out really nice. So now, after that finished hardening overnight, we ended up going with our clear coat after that, just to get all of that effects and nice patterns and everything nicely sealed in. You trowel it out, you chop it, and then you go over the torch to make sure that it's nice and bubble free, so you get a nice glassy sheet finish. Now if you see any divots before the clear coat goes on, don't worry. The layering of the effects over and over again will naturally cause some divots and points, but this clear coat here that we're doing will make sure to help it lay out just nice and smooth. There you have it, our very nice frosted chocolate. That's what we decided to go with for a name, frosted chocolate. I really like the name personally. And you can see a lot of different colors in here, so many different browns and textures, especially because some of it went so deep that it went, of the isopropyl, went so deep there that you can see down to our original Ethiopia Bay. This is one of the most textured projects that we've done so far. Don't usually go this textured it has a beautiful finish to it, a very exotic looking stone. So make sure that you subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, like and comment on our video about what you thought. And also, you can see our Rockface edge. It turned out really nice, and it has a lot of nice effects into there.
This was a really interesting project to make. Let us know in the comments below if you would like to see how we went and built this Rockface edge, kind of the wood behind it. Let us know either A, yes, I'd love to see that, or B, I don't care, just continue showing epoxy videos. And from all of us here at Stonethetic, built by you, built for less, built to last. And we'll see you on the next video.